I will. Okay, so I went to art college in Sheffield and studied history of art, design and film, which suits you for absolutely nothing. But in Sheffield there was a nightclub getting started that I'd heard about, so I went down there and then going and getting involved in it and built skills that way. I did a master's in business administration by the time I was finishing there, so I got extra education and skills that helped me really go to the next stage. I always wanted to move to London, so you're in a fantastic situation because you're already here, which is even more important nowadays as a place to get creative industry jobs. I started working in TV, worked in an awful job that I really disliked, but at least, you know, it got me started. Tried to do a good job so that I could get onto another job that I liked. And I worked in production most of the time because I'm good at organising, but it was a killer in terms of if you have a creative, I had a more creative desires. So eventually managed to save enough money, do things that I could set up my own business. I set up my own business, which was in music video, matching up records, label briefs with directors anywhere in the world who wanted to pitch on that. Sold that business, started Shiny, which is what I do now, which is about getting new and underrepresented filmmaker talent into advertising production. So a bit of a mix of being in a place that I could afford to be poor, and also being connected to lots of people and listening out a lot about opportunities that were around.
So we sort of started in a similar area. I went to Sussex, I did French and European studies, didn't have a clue. Well, because it was one of the subjects we could do was French, so that's the reason I picked it. Knew I probably wouldn't use my French because they were, you know, what value their degree has brought them. I had the same conversation with my daughter. Even if you don't remember anything, you have learned to present your ideas to people, and you learned to do independent research, and you've learned to work in a team and independently. So that was what I took out of university, and I knew that I wanted to be in some kind of communication business. And so my first job was actually with a design company. My next job was with a theatre PR, very briefly, and then I thought actually I want to try telly. So I've got a book called The Knowledge, which is now it's online now, but you can still get the book, and it just lists all the production companies in the UK, and I just started to.
First one was I did my BA in Barcelona, where I'm from, in media studies, which at the time included a bit of a mixture of like journalism and cinema and TV, also photography, and more sort of like writing and communication training. So after the BA, I started doing some jobs in that area, and that was thanks to the fact that I did a lot of internships during my BA. So when I sort of like finished the BA, the panic moment, what am I gonna do, I had already established some contacts in like different companies where I had done my internship. So one was like a TV station where I had been doing an internship on like TV production. Then there was like a news agency, and through that news agency I have met a lot of people working more in like corporate communications and like press departments and things like that. So after that I already had like a little network and people that I could just like call casually and say, look, I finished my BA, I had a great time working with you, and you know, I'm looking for opportunities. And this is how, you know, we started. Like I started this journey of like finding out different jobs. So I worked for quite a few years in just like press departments and production and video production in different companies.
I think they still do them, but much shorter. But we got 1 year fully paid, and then if you did okay, you got another year's full-time contract, which is almost impossible. Some companies I think still do it, but you know, I had to go the route before that of CrodSec, product coordinator, then we were training research. doing art secretary or coordinators helps you organize, because you end up being paired with directors who.
Do you remember back when you started to prep, like who you were, what you wanted to say about yourself? Do you do your research about the individuals there? Do you just kind of wing it when you're there? Like,
It's always a good idea to know what you want to come away with.
right,
I would say, apart from anything else, just think, okay, I'm going to talk to 3 people that I don't know. Just give yourself an easy goal and don't stress too much about it.
Yes, I think something that was mentioned, you mentioned that when you do how to network, I remember having this fretting about this, that at the beginning when you are looking for the friends, so it's like, okay, how do I network? But something that I realized with the time is that you already have a network, just the fact that you have studied in London, everyone that you are with in your classroom, even within your promotion at university, is people that you probably have never talked to, but with the years, this becomes a really valuable connection. So when you are like already in the industry and just like finding your next gig or whatever, if you come across someone who studied at the same uni and are even in the same promotion, even if it was a different course, that's already a very powerful connection. Oh yeah, I also went.
like some LinkedIn websites, like it's all there for us now, for the most part, free. But has that taken away some of the experience that I guess you found when you actually went out to places where you had to handwrite those notes to people? Has that made it so accessible that people are looking, well, there's so many people going to see, I'm not going to see anybody anymore, or you have to work a bit harder to stand out because there is just so much volume of people sending you emails or trying to break in?
As a talent manager, you could spend your whole week meeting people because our inboxes are constant. I'm sure yours are too, a constant stream of people saying, just wanted to know, that I'm available for work, and I wouldn't discourage people from doing that. Although it's a lot easier when you're a bit further down the line and you perhaps worked or you've got credits to show that your email is relevant to the company that you're writing to us at. So at the very beginning, it's hard, and it's been, honestly, it's been a long time since I was in that space, but obviously we see people all the time that are in that space, and they still say the same thing: get yourself to get-togethers, get yourself on those databases, and don't, be scared to write to people speculatively. And I think that obviously there's a fine line between networking and stalking.
All sorts of wonderful things as well. And the MD of Caviar says that she prefers to work with new people who have worked in hospitality because those people have dealt with rude customers. And if you can deal with rude customers and continue living and be a nice person, then that's a great skill.
You're cold calling people. If you're put on a casting, you've got to charm people that level.
So a lot of we run a lot of Instagram lives and things like that with directors' reps who are kind of agents for directors. The new directors often want to get listed with a director's rep, so they're saying, how can we get your attention? And those reps will often say, it's fine to email more than once, don't do it every week, email every time you've got some new news.
Yeah.
I've just made this film, I just did some behind the scenes with somebody, anything that you can think of. Short, sweet, punchy, and different and friendly. So you're always looking to stand out some way or another, and it doesn't mean to be a noisy extrovert. It just means show a beautiful still, or I got this photograph was featured in the Croydon Local Times. That could be the smallest newspaper in the world. And if it's a beautiful photo or a bit of film, then it was the job.
It ends up being like how to keep in touch in the right way without sounding pushy. It's difficult, it's not easy, but maybe just saying like, I've just finished this job, you share a link to the job if you are happy about the job, and then some free time in case you have any projects coming up. Don't sound like, okay, I just finished a job, then I'm looking for opportunities. And then probably that person's go, oh yeah, I have something coming up. And otherwise they would probably think you are busy with something else and they don't even remember to call you. So it's just like keeping in touch and just like being honest. I'm gonna have some free time, I would like to work with you again. Or even just like being truthful and saying, I really enjoyed our last project, let me know what has another opportunity or something like that. And I think this works for employers, but also for clients. So if you are doing freelance work, that's also the more like business side of your career, that you have to establish these relationships and just like nurture them. And it's not like someone who's going to employ you, but it's someone who's gonna give you a new commission or a new job in a way that you have to provide the service for them. So if there's a client that you really like, you just like keep in touch, you just like share what you've done. And I think it gets easier the longer you work with people, but also if there's a lot of people that you meet, like for instance in your first project. So just like don't be worried about keeping in touch with them directly, even if they are in different departments, because this is a good trick actually. If you look at like the programs or the films that you really like, and you look at the cast and the crew members, and you look at the previous projects by hosting directors, you see that this is so that's going to happen to you as well. So those relationships start because you just do a project with someone and then you say, oh, it was nice working with you. Let me know how you get on. And then that person goes and does a project with a completely different company or different director, but they remember that they also enjoy working with you. And then you come into the team, and then you end up having different things, and this is your network and how it builds.
The other thing I'd add to that is there's the other sort of thing to think about is, are you in the bigger companies, whether that's advertising or television or whatever, there are people that are hiring and then there are the creatives. So you might want to write to the creative, to the director or the producer, the series producer. They may be freelance and they might be attached to a company at one point and then they've gone, but there'll be somebody in that company. I mean, the bigger companies have talent managers like we work, and where you need to just double check is on the website. You go to the team page. So say you've identified, I really want to go and work on the traitor, and you go look at the credits, you'll see it's made by Studio Lambert, and then you go to their website, and there'll always be the bigger companies will have a people page, and that people page will give you, a lot of people that won't necessarily want to receive your email, but there may be someone who's there specifically for talent. That's their job, in the same way that agents.
And then you guys transport it down to us.
Instagram's good if you are a visual, if you're wanting to enter the industry as a visual person, because that's definitely the place to be and to DM people that you want to get attention. But LinkedIn.
And there are Facebook groups, and certainly,
Discovering who you are as a person, doing research, being honest, is the